Hello, friends. I will tell you today about the story of the king. King Tutankhamun, or internationally known as King Tut, was crowned king of Egypt when he was only 9 years old in 1333 BC. He ruled Egypt for a decade until his death in 1323, but what distinguishes the king most Tutankhamun is not his young age, but his tomb, as the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922 is one of the most important archaeological discoveries of the modern era. He is one of the pharaohs of the 18th Egyptian family in the history of ancient Egypt, and he was the pharaoh of Egypt from 1334 BC to 1325 BC. Tutankhamun is considered one of the most famous pharaohs for reasons not related to the achievements he made or the wars he won, as is the case with many pharaohs. Rather, for other reasons that are important from a historical point of view, the most prominent of which is the discovery of his entire tomb and treasures without any damage, and the mystery surrounding the circumstances of his death, as many considered the death of Pharaoh at a very young age to be unnatural, especially with traces of fractures in the femur and skull, and the marriage of his minister to his widow after his death and the inauguration of himself as Pharaoh. All these mysterious events, and the heavy use of the legend of the curse of the pharaohs associated with the tomb of Tutankhamun, which was used in films and video games, made Tutankhamun the most famous of the pharaohs for mysteries and questions that remain unanswered. Some considered it one of the oldest assassinations in human history. Tutankhamun died young and was buried in his tomb, Tomb 62- in the Valley of the Kings. Tutankhamun was 9 years old when he became pharaoh of Egypt, and his name in the ancient Egyptian language means the living image of the god Amun, the chief of the ancient Egyptian gods. Tutankhamun lived in a transitional period in the history of ancient Egypt, where he came after Akhenaten, who tried to unite the gods of ancient Egypt in the form of the one god. During his reign, a return to the worship of the multiple gods of ancient Egypt took place. His tomb was discovered in 1922 in the Valley of the Kings by British archaeologist Howard Carter. This discovery caused the widespread media stir in the world,